Hi, hello everyone. I'm Jaya. Uh, Welcome to this kind of Hangout session. So, what you'll be seeing here is an live video of us, like the ISA committee, and we'll be presenting all the required information. Then, as I said earlier, this is you might have got an YouTube link, and this will be broadcasted on live on YouTube. So in the comment section you can post all your questions and we'll be answering them as we go on. Okay, so let's get started since it's already the time that we reached. Okay, so let's start with uh, a small presentation. So here is the structure. So it goes like, we'll have this presentation, then after that you can post all your questions in the comment section of that YouTube channel and we will answer them one by one. uh, so let's go ahead. So what you see is the team ISA, and you can see the people are standing behind me. I'm Jaya, uh, and maybe you can say it.
I'm Karthik.
I'm Nirad.
Hi, Pranav.
Hi, my name is Nitin.
Hi, my name is Rajesh.
So and there is Amrita as well, our fundraising chair. She's in India now. So let's get started with the presentation. So the first thing, like we would like to provide a small introduction to Indian Students Association. So we established, we normally, the main reason behind Indian Students Association is to enrich our culture and show us like what really Indian culture, and introduce our culture to all the locals here. So it's mainly by promoting all our events and making a good friendship with the local citizens here, and making sure that we feel like living at our home country. So these are the main motives behind Indian Students Association. Apart from that, like from this year we are also trying to make sure that our Indians who are come to Michigan Tech are getting good academic support as well. Okay, so to go ahead and to list out some of the things that we do every semester is like, in fall semester we conduct events like Diwali night and Garba night, and we also participate in a event called Parade of Nations. Parade of Nations is like Michigan Tech International Programs and Services conducts this event, and it's a very good opportunity to like have a walk in the city, in the hotel, and we can just like we can portray our culture in much more bigger way. And apart from that, we have a plan to start an week-long orientation program which provides introduction to all the softwares that are being used at the university. Not all, like the major softwares that you need to cope up with the academics, because I'm pretty sure back in India we might not be having very uh, good exposure towards softwares like MATLAB or any AutoCAD tools or anything that does like ANSYS or some heat flow analysis. So the way United in America, the way people use softwares is like too much. For each and every assignment, they have a software programming part that has to be done. So in that way, like we Indians, we had find it difficult to cope up, whereas Americans who did their undergrad here are very easy to get adapted to that. So keeping this in mind, we are planning to arrange a week-long software training kind of thing, which would provide a quick start to most of the software tools that are used across the departments. And we are also planning to do the same thing for the spring semester incoming students. And in spring semester, our big events are like Holy Night. as well as spring fling. Spring fling is kind of like a small one-day activity which happens before the finals week, just to relieve the finals pressure. So to do this, since Indian Students Association is not an sponsored body, like no one sponsors us, we students sponsors ourselves, and to bring all these things we need certain amount of funding from the students. So we do this in terms of membership. So every master student mostly stays here for 2 years. So the membership is like $20 for 2 years, which provides lots of benefits, like you all get discounted ticketing on for every event that is conducted by ISA, and you also get you being ISA member, like you get many other opportunities, like as I said, you'll be able to involve in all these training sessions that we are planning to conduct, as well as you'll be taken care of in any safety emergency measures. Like unfortunately, if something happens, we will try our best to arrange some of the immediate things. So there are many benefits to this, and it would be really helpful, like we see all the fall aspirants to be part of this organization and make it bigger and look better. So moving forward, so as I said earlier, like you can go ahead and type your questions in that YouTube channel comment section, and we will answer them accordingly once we are done with the presentation. So most people, I'm pretty sure that you are done with you're done, or you will be in the process of getting your visas. So there are two travel options that are available, and you might have got this mail from International Programs and Services, from IPS Arrivals. So what we also recommend is to opt for the second option, that is arriving at Chicago and taking the bus. Even though you have to spend good amount of travel hours in that, but you can come to Chicago with 3 baggages and put the 3 baggages in the bus and come without any headache or anything. Whereas like the flights from Chicago to Hancock, there is only couple of flights. So there are high chances that these flights get cancelled in the month of August because of the fog and rain. So you have to make sure like you have to keep these things in mind before booking the flight. So housing options. So people really, many people do ask me like what are the housing options available. So as I said, there are 3 on-campus housing options available in Daniel Heights. Those are 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom and 3 bedrooms. So you can see those housing options and their rents and the maximum people that can share an apartment. And one thing which I would like to point out here is like a 1 bedroom apartment can only be shared by 2 people. If you are thinking of living more than 3 people to reduce the rent or any other ideas like that, it is definitely illegal thing. And ISA will not be responsible if someone from public safety or someone from housing makes a visit to your house and finds that out. Okay, so make sure please don't do those kind of illegal things, like putting more people in a apartment, like more than one person, more than the available persons. So the main pros of living on campus is you have a shuttle running. So it's really painful to walk in snow, and if you're living off campus, you don't have a shuttle. So imagine like walking for a mile in minus 15 degrees C centigrade with a wind of let's say some 20 miles per hour wind blowing on your face plus snow. So it's really tough to walk, and winters are very harsh here, so you have to understand that. And other than that, rent includes all the options. In Houghton is in like the area which is located is called as Upper Peninsula, and Upper Peninsula is one of the biggest, like it has the highest electricity prices in all over US. So if you are staying off campus, make sure your electricity is covered by in the rent. If it is not, then you'll have at least like 1%'s rent amount as electricity bill, like let us say at least $200 to $300. So that is in the winter, not in summer. So at least for 4 to 5 months you'll have a huge electricity bill as well as huge heating bill. So you have to keep those things in mind. And the link is posted here where you can go ahead and apply the housing. Sorry. and off-campus housing. These are the certain, these are the links where you can get all the off-campus housings. Again, as I said, off-campus housing might be cheaper, but if they don't include all these utility bills, like utilities are generally considered as electricity, heating, gas, as well as water. So these are the 4 minimal utilities that are required for an apartment. And apart from that, TV, telephone, and cable are the additional utilities that cable and internet. So these are the additional utilities that you might opt for or you might not. And some apartments might have furniture and most of them doesn't have furniture. So you might end up buying beds, lights, cushions, couches, and everything. So just make sure that you check that the apartment has everything, and you can always contact us like you had found a place at certain area, whether it would be far from the campus or near to the campus. Is it a good place or not? You can mail us at isacom@mtu.edu. So we'll be able to reply to that as soon as we can. So insurance. This is the most toughest part to explain as well. So I try to be as specific as detailed as possible. But if you have any questions, again, go ahead and comment in the section, or you can also go ahead and chat. There is a chat session going on. Maybe Chundu, you can speak about that.
Yeah, so I have added all of you to a group chat right now. So if you have any questions, you can either post it in the YouTube comment section or in the group chat. You should be getting some messages by now in your Gmail account.
MTU.
Yeah, MTU Gmail.
So university normally prefers, university has its own tie-up with Aetna insurance. It is expensive. It is very expensive compared to the other insurances that are available. But the main advantage is it has a very good coverage, and we have a Portage Health facility here in campus. So it does you don't need to pay much ahead once you have Aetna insurance with you. Whereas others you have to pay ahead and then go back to get your bills and claim with your insurance. So that is considerably a headache part, which would take normally 2 to 3 months to get your bills done and get your refund. And if something happens, if the insurance says that it is not part of the claim, then you don't have university support in that in that way. If you take a Aetna insurance, university, you can go ahead and talk to university whether certain injuries are covered or not, and you can always get their help. Whereas the other insurance, I'm not sure whether university will support it or will provide the same help that it provides for Aetna insurance users. So it is pretty much clear out here in the policy summary. The main things that you have to look at is the maximum detectable. That means that students have to put maximum of $3,000 from their pocket, and anything about that is covered. And I guess this is max out of pay is that's the maximum they will pay from their pocket.
Maximum you have to pay from the pocket.
Yeah, that's what the 6,350 is the maximum that you have to pay from your pocket. This is per year on year basis. And Aetna covers all these things, and there is a option called copay in the university health center, which is applicable for Aetna. You can opt for copay when your bill is less than $3,000. In that case, you will be paying 30% of the, if I'm not wrong, you will be paying 30% of your total bill amount, and the insurance and hospital will cover the remaining part. And this is a policy summary for ISO. And as I said, there are no tie-ups for this. Maximum detectable of injury, and the other things are pretty self-explanatory. And there is one more link, I will show you in the links pages, where you can go ahead and check the student insurance website, and you can contact them with the doubts that you have. Okay. Anything else on insurance that I'm missing? Okay. Okay. And one more small thing, like if you are about 25, then better take it. Now it doesn't make any sense with ISO. Okay, on-campus jobs. These are the questions that I get every day on my mobile, like at least 10 to 15 times. So on-campus jobs, those are mainly used for paying your living expenses. There are considerably there are very good chances getting on-campus job in this university compared to other university, because there are huge opportunities, and this place is very small place. So comparatively, there are more number of students living than local. So they have to recruit students to to fill their vacancies. Being said that, there are chances to get in first semester, but one has to try very hard. So imagine this. Now, once we came as of new students in first semester, we don't know how the academics work here. So we have to cope up with the academics, as well as we have to search a job, which is a hectic thing. So that is the main reason why I said, like, you will not find much time in searching job during the first semester, or at least in the start of the first semester. But for second semester, most people do get an on-campus job, uh, for sure, like mostly 90% of them. Like if you sincerely try in first semester, most people end up getting at the end of first semester itself. So most popular things are like dining services at all the residential halls, as well as we have a cafe here at MUB, so we also get there. And the second thing would be Rosa Center. Rosa Center is an arts theater, where you have it's kind of a very big theater where university plays many cultural programs there. In fact, our Diwali night will be arranged there. So there are jobs at that place as well, and there is library research assistant positions as well. And apart from that, every department has their own grader positions, which are called as an part-time jobs. uh, those grader positions are up to professor's decision. Like he can decide whoever he wants to give it to. And the usual wage is like around $8 per hour. And the job postings, like you can see in this link that is posted here, so you can use this link, and it has uh, most recent updates. So every like if you approach any dining services or anyone, they will ask you to go here and apply the job posting. They will not entertain you there. So make sure to apply ahead in the Husky jobs, as well as I mean, make sure to apply in the Husky jobs before you approach the concerned recruiting person. So once again, like if some people might have joined late, so if you have any questions in this presentation till now, you can go ahead and put your questions in the comment section, or you can also put it in the Hangouts chat that we are having. So these are some important links. So as many people asked me, like where to find, what are the requirements for my department's master's degree, how do we find the faculty. So these has all the faculty lists and everything. So I guess these are the things. Now this is a small presentation. Now I'll go ahead and check the comments, and you can comment there. I'll answer accordingly, or we all will answer accordingly. Sorry. So Sriram Chari, he asked, "Is there a debate club I could get enrolled in, and we would be having time to consider joining a few clubs to be more involved in the campus?" So as far as I know, there is no separate debate club kind of thing here. But and again, it would be your time schedule, like whether you'd have extra time or not. We cannot say that. And definitely there are many other clubs that you can join here. Like there is an international club, there is a club for skiing, there is graduate student government, where they have many social clubs. And also, like, there are fraternity houses, which obviously we are not allowed into as international students. So as to answer your questions, yes, there are many clubs that you can go ahead and join, but time schedule is completely depends on you. So Abhishek Joshi asked about the meal plans. So meal plans are like normally most Indian students we do cook at our Daniel Heights apartments. But if you want to go ahead and take meal plans, then for on-campus like for people living at Daniel Heights or someone who is living at off-campus students, there is a unlimited meal plan which would cost around $2,336 per semester for the fall semester, and it would provide you unlimited meals, and you can go ahead and opt to that. Any questions, sir? What are the softwares used in mechanical by Nilesh Gupta? So
Softwares which are used in mechanical engineering, I mean, it depends on what kind of softwares you're talking about. If you're talking about design softwares, there are a lot of softwares like Unigraphics, CATIA, ProE, and SolidWorks, which are being used now. At this point of time, these are the 4 top softwares that are being used. But if you're looking at some kind of an analysis softwares, then I would say Hypermesh, ANSYS, they might be one of the 2 top things which are being used. Okay.
Yeah, and, if you're specializing in CFD, then Fluent is the software that is being used.
So could you be more specific on which kind of software which you are looking at and what is the domain you are talking about so that we could answer the question properly?
Yeah, particularly.
And for hybrid electric vehicles, most probably we'll use MATLAB and C.
Yeah, and I would like to add, like, if I mean the topic of softwares has come up, so overall, MATLAB is a very important software that is being used in majority of courses. And if you are rusty on your MATLAB skills, then please do some instructional videos online, and that helps a lot in just getting refreshed on your MATLAB skills. So.
And like as I mentioned earlier, like we are also having a small session like on MATLAB during your orientation week. So once we get approval from grad school to conduct this training, we'll also provide a training on MATLAB on what ways it is used in different departments. So another question by Deeptesh Deepak. Which mobile network has good coverage in Bhutan? I would say like AT&T has a good coverage, but it is really expensive to take AT&T. Like you need to be part of a family plan, which means like you should have a relative in US who already has a AT&T connection, and they have to add in their family plan. Else, most people opt for H2O, which is also a good network, cheaper and good network, but you won't get much of data advantage on that H2O mobile network. Yes, you can.
Yeah, H2O network also works on AT&T satellite, AT&T towers, so the coverage is the same. So H2O is preferred because it is cheaper, and majority of us here have H2O as the network. And you can register a SIM once you come over here, and we'll also explain that in the orientation. So, yeah, no need to worry about it.
So there is a question from Siddharth Nair. Can we buy insurance from India like ICICI Lombard, or is it necessary to take the insurance from MTU? It is really not. We cannot recommend whether what type of insurance you want to take. I know some people who has ICICI Lombard here, and I know who has. I mean, I myself has an 8/9 insurance, and some couple of us has a 8/9 insurance, and some of my friends do have ICICI Lombard insurance. So it's up to you to what to choose. It depends on like one's health history and the frequent visits that you make to hospital. So depends on that you take. If I'm putting in my case, like I do visit hospital at least once in a semester, so I need a really good insurance to cover all my expenses. Whereas some people are really healthy and don't visit hospital at all in 2-3 years, so then they don't really need an very good insurance at higher price. So again, the Portage accepts most insurances, but again, apart from Aetna, whatever the insurance you take, you have to pay ahead and then go to the insurance person and claim that back. So you have to make the payment ahead for other insurances.
See, one of the main advantages of buying an Aetna insurance or an ISO insurance would be the cashless facility that is available. Okay, so if you have some kind of an ailment and you walk into a hospital, there's no need for you to pay anything over there. You just give your card and you get the treatment done and you come. So later on, after some time, you'll get a bill telling how much was covered and how much is your contribution in that. So, but when it comes to ICICI Lombard, the initial cost might be a little less. If you see the Aetna, I mean, ICICI Lombard would cost you around 1/4 of what is costing what the Aetna costs. But what happens is if unfortunately you meet with something, something like an accident or something like that, what happens is you'll have to pay the entire amount upfront and then get a reimbursement from your ICICI or any of your HDFC, or there are many Tata AIG plans which are available from India. So if it's a small amount, then you'll be able to manage maybe around $500 to $600. But if it unfortunately goes up to like what, $10,000 to $15,000, then it would be an issue. So that would be a major issue. So it depends on if people are ready to take that kind of a risk, telling that I will be able to pay the fees, I will be able to take up this kind of expenditure and then later on reimburse it, then few of the banks, actually few of the insurance policies do match what Aetna is providing here.
Okay, so there is another question by Kushan Vasant. He's asking about if what do people generally do in vacations? I mean, let's say if someone doesn't get an intern or co-op, plus it would be really nice if you could give more info on about STC and the conditions of amenities in it. Okay, the first question: what generally people do in vacations? Just leave this place, go somewhere else, have fun. And if at all, like,
Oh, Jaya.
yeah,
That is in the winter.
yeah.
Summertime is actually the Upper Peninsula
Yeah.
is a really very scenic place.
Yeah.
There are many places where you can go and enjoy over there, and like in a 2-hour radius. So yeah.
So basically, the Upper Peninsula is about what, approximately like 70 to 80 national parks over here. It's a beautiful place to enjoy in summer. Like I am like currently on the road and I'm just roaming around. Basically, you've got doors to do over here in summer. Like awesome places to see. You've got trails and stuff, so you can do that in summer. Winter, you just can't. You have to stay in an apartment in winter or go somewhere else.
Yeah, but winter activities are also there, like
skiing and all is there, but it's kind of depends on you, like whether you like to ski or whether you're good at falling down and getting injuries in snow and stuff. Anyways, and mostly in summer, if they don't get any intern or co-op, regardless of department, they'll try to get a special topic under professor and work on something that is helpful for their academics. And there are some summer part-time jobs. Mostly the most widely available part-time job is custodian job, which is kind of hectic. I would say very hectic. Like you have to go and clean each and every Daniel Heights apartments, like whichever are vacant, and you'll go and clean all the residential halls. So that's the thing. Like I guess someone asked, will the apartments will be neatly maintained or not? So to answer that, we students will go ahead and clean the apartments and give it to the fall students. So imagine that. Again, the next thing is STC. STC has, like, you name a thing that's available in STC. Like you want swimming pool, it's available. You want a gym, full wood gym. I mean full gym, it's available. There is basketball courts. There is like volleyball courts. There are tennis courts. There are badminton courts. There are racket balls. There is shooting.
Soccer.
Yeah, there is soccer.
Big soccer.
There is outside fields that are used in summer, like for soccer. For softball. So SDC is like awesome. You have everything. That's the main hangout place
Yeah.
during summer.
Yeah, and during the semesters, we have a cricket club over here, which organizes weekly cricket matches in the SDC multipurpose courts, which are indoors, and it's a lot of fun. Also, we have weekly soccer games on Saturdays, so it's kind of very active, and SDC is a very important part of our lives.
Yeah, especially at this place.
Yeah.
Okay, Jitin Joseph, when do I get to know of allotment at DH? I applied on 15th May, 1BH, but no reply yet. Do I have to start looking for off-campus right away? I would say first go ahead and contact Ryan Bennett from Housing to know your waiting list. He will provide you the waiting list. You can mail him as well as housing@mtu.edu. Once you know the waiting list, like then you can ask in the same mail. You can ask him whether what are the chances of getting an apartment. If it's not in a good position, then I would say that like start looking for roommates first, like who are got an on-campus accommodation, then go for off-campus. I haven't applied for visa yet. I'm late already. No, you're not, because I myself applied in last like mid of July when I'm coming here.
June is the right time to apply for visa.
Not right time, but it's not right. It depends on like if you have financials ready, you can go ahead and apply now itself. I'm pretty sure like most of the visa interviews depends on your financial documents that you're arranging. So it's not late. By when do we have to take the insurance, before enrollment or after enrollment? So before confirming, then how the enrollment is confirmed is like you pay your tuition fees, you pay your insurance, then it is automatically enrolled. And if you have any dues on both the parts, your enrollment will not be confirmed, and you'll end up having fine on your tuition fees. There is so moving on to the next question. It's power system specific. So Abhishek Joshi is asking like power system operations is full. Does requesting a professor will help? Also, do they increase the seats? Requesting the professor would be the first thing I would do, because he is the one who can allow, who can increase the seats and everything. So if he has like, let us say 10 or 15 students requesting him, then he might consider changing the number, changing the seats from 40 to 55 or 60. So first thing you have to do is go ahead and request the professor. Okay. Are there bus routes which connect off campus to the university? If yes, how? So there are no bus routes that connect to off campus, because this is very small place, and there are nothing called city owned buses. There is one bus, but it is not that frequent as well. And you as a student, you have to pay $1 to board on that bus and come here, but the timings are like it's half an hour once, so it's very much.
So during the semester, the
Yeah.
Walmart bus which
Yeah.
goes through.
But
the
that is only in the afternoon.
And
Yeah.
it won't go to every off-campus also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has specific routes.
So there is limited free transportation available, but it's not frequent, and it starts in the afternoon. So you cannot avail it if you want to come to campus in the morning.
And
So,
it ends by 7 o'clock.
and it ends at 7 p.m.
Okay. So the next question is by Chaitali. What is the tentative expenses per month considering all the basic necessities? So if you are living on campus, your all basic utilities are covered, and the maximum rent is for 1-bedroom apartment. So it would be somewhere around $325 to $330. And apart from that, definitely depends on one's lifestyle. So to give a rough estimate, it would be around $500 to $550 or $600. That's what I would say, like considering food and mobile expenses and some miscellaneous expenses. Like if you want to go and have a see a movie or go somewhere else, so these things considered. So it would be maximum of 600, that I would say, and say 500 to 600. That would be
Won't go
that.
beyond 600.
It won't go. It never goes beyond 600.
600 is the max.
Yeah, yeah. Even every day, if you go to pub and have, or if you go to a bar and have drink, it will not go above 600. Of course, again, it depends on how much you drink. Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is one of the major advantages of Michigan Tech, that the living expenses over here are very low. So it of course helps in our savings later. So
And it also depends on the type of apartment you live. This is considering a single bedroom apartment, but if you are staying in somewhat like a 2 bedroom or a 3 bedroom apartment, your rent comes down considerably. If you go for a 2 bedroom apartment, your rent is just around if your single bedroom apartment might cost you around 325 to somewhere in the range of $325 per month. But if you consider a 2 bedroom apartment where 3 people are sharing, that'll just turn out to be a $240 per month. So even if you're living a lavish life in a 2 bedroom apartment, it might cost you around $450.
That's what.
yeah.
And it would vary a lot for off-campus of housing because of those additional utility charges. But you can add another $50 to $60 above the maximum amount that I quoted earlier. So for off-campus, it would be maybe $550 to $650, depends on your utility charges.
There's some investment for the beds and all.
Yeah, there is initial investment as well.
For furniture.
Yes. Neelish Gupta, I'm facing problems with course registrations. I want to take advanced thermo and IC engines too, but classes are already full. Even I mailed Craig, but still no response. I don't want to do other sessions. What should I do?
Okay.
So maybe
Okay. For advanced thermodynamics, I think the seat will increase after some point of time, because the first the Craig will consider the students who are living right now in campus, and people there is a minimum amount, like minimum seat like 30 seats. Now the demand will increase. So the thing is that he will anyways going to increase the number of seats in advanced thermodynamics. But when it comes to IC2, there are some prerequisites, and IC2 has prerequisites as advanced thermodynamics and IC1. So I think that it's better you take advanced thermodynamics after coming here, and then go for IC2.
Yes, and so even when I had faced the problem because there were only 30 seats for advanced thermodynamics, and so once I came on camp, what I'll suggest is that you just email Craig, and once he receives all the emails, he'll get an idea of what kind of demand is there for the course. And the seat capacity last year was increased from 30 to 60, so it was doubled. And everyone who wanted advanced thermodynamics got advanced thermodynamics. But about IC2, as Karthik said, that there is a prerequisite of advanced thermodynamics. So there is an option of taking advanced thermo and IC2 in the same semester, but for that you'll have to meet Craig once you come over here on campus. So it's like for now you can register for courses which you might not want, but then after coming here you can add and drop courses accordingly, and after you meet Craig and the capacity increase.
okay. So moving on to next question, like from Deval. For computer science department, do we need to register for courses before arriving at MTU or after? Also, when do fall students have to pay the first semester tuition fees? So, regardless of department, we would strongly recommend to register. Register to all the courses when you are back at now itself, like immediately as soon as possible, because you see, like most of the courses are getting filled up, and you might end up your name putting in the waiting list of the class roster. So it's really we really appreciate, like, if you go ahead and register now itself, because you don't face any problems when you come here. And regarding payment of tuition fees, like, I guess there is a deadline mentioned. There is a particular deadline. I don't remember the
It
date.
is usually after the first week of commencement of class.
No, before that.
before the commencement.
Before.
One week before the
1 week
commencement
before
of
the
class.
commencement of class.
Okay. Oh yeah. Let's finish this. Again, like, you can go to the ban web and check in the payments section. You will have the specific date that is mentioned, like the last date to pay your fees and everything and confirm the enrollment. So make sure to pay that. And I guess it would be. Give me a second. I'll check and tell you now itself.
Explain it in the orientation.
One more good way to actually find out which is, the last date for payment of fees is once you register for the class, if you log in into your Bandweb, there's a section called, there's a tab called billing and enrollment. Okay, so if you go there, it'll tell you which is the last date by which you can actually pay the fees without having a fine on your tuition. So if you pay your tuition and other fees before that, there'll be no fine on that. So that is one of the best ways to actually know which is the last date. But there are also some options available on the Bandwidth where you can actually find out a common date for each semester.
And is there any question of installments of fees, like paying fees?
No. Not yet.
Because that helps.
Yeah, and fees can also be paid in 3 installments.
Four
installments. So you have to put a mail to the billing department to avail that option. But there will be some kind of a nominal fees which will be charged maybe around.
No, if payment is late, then it is charged. Otherwise,
You can actually pay that in 4 installments.
Yeah, and you can do the procedure once you arrive here. So,
Okay, so moving on to next question from Pratik. I'm planning to take power system specialization, registered for all 3 major courses in power systems. Will it be too heavy to handle in first semester? Again, you only stated itself, like it depends person to person. But when I came here first, I did take 3 power system, 3 5,000 level courses. It was really kind of hectic because at that time I don't have much exposure to tools, and 3 5,000 levels courses have 3 projects at the end, so you'll have 3 reports that you have to write at the end, and report writing is not easy as like the way we got taught in India. Here it's very strict on plagiarism and integrity issues, so we should be very clear in report writing, and those reports should not match with others works. So it is really a hectic thing, but people don't have much exposure to tools, and 3 5,000 levels courses have this. Okay, so again, sorry for the disturbance. Again, it depends from person to person, but I know people who took 3 5,000 level courses in their first semester, and people do take this and get with this done. So you can just reevaluate yourself and think whether you want to take it or not. I would say we can do it, but it will be very hectic, which means like you might not find much time to search for part-time jobs or social events. Yeah. Another question from Sriramachari. Weekly soccer games, do they let us play and get into one of the clubs there, or is it possible to get into university soccer team? Pranav would be the right person to answer this regarding soccer.
Yeah, we have a good soccer club here, and we organize weekly soccer games on Saturdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And it's indoors in the SDC during fall, and the first month of fall it's outdoors on the Sherman field because the weather is still good. But once the winter sets in, then we have to go indoors, and indoor football is much more fun than outdoor football, I can assure you. And once the football continues all through the year, and once the summer arrives, then we again go outdoors on the Sherman fields. We have a soccer field over here, so it's a very active football club that we have here. And you will definitely not be let down.
Yeah. So there is another question from Siddharth. What are the most essential linen and kitchen items to be carried from India, which would be tough to find over there? So the tough things would be like, it's tough to get a good pressure cooker here. If you are really planning to cook something with pressure cooker, as well as tough to get a mixer grinder. It's really costly. So if you have space for those, then you can carry. Apart from that, I'm pretty sure you'll get all remaining things like the basic vessels and basic electric cookers and everything. So I would normally recommend to carry.
One more option, what
Yeah.
you could actually do is you can actually go check Amazon.com for even pressure cookers or something like that. If the price difference is too much, then get it from there, or else you can come and order it online.
Yes.
Because you get the same pressure cooker over here. I mean, you have to order it online. See, Amazon.com, I got one from Amazon.com which costed me a little more than what would have costed me in India.
Yeah.
I got the same Prestige or Pigeon this thing pressure cooker, but it costed me a little more. So the best way to find out if it's best to get it from there or to buy it here would be to go to an online store like maybe Patels.com, Patel Brothers, PatelBrothers.com. They also have free delivery services up to a certain weight, or Amazon.com. So once you go there, you'll be able to check the price difference between what you have back in India and what you are going to pay here. So if the price difference is too much, then I would say get it from there. If the price difference is negligible, then I would say there's no point in getting it.
Okay, so what I would say is, normally if you have good amount of space in your baggage, try to put more number of spices and lentils and these kind of stuff rather than vessels and these things, because kitchen hardware items like vessels and all are easy to find with extra price, but whereas spices are too costly here compared to what you get back in India. Okay, moving on to the next question. It's from Swapnil. Can you please answer the questions on banking option available for us? So there is one major bank, that is Wells Fargo, available here. So once you get here, you can go to Wells Fargo bank available opposite to campus and get your account opening done, and you can do all your transactions using that bank. And apart from that, there are not much bigger banks here, so Wells Fargo is the most chosen option. Okay, is it true IC2 offered alternate year in fall, so each batch will get only one chance to study IC2? Because if it is offered alternate years, the next time it will open only in fall 2017, right?
It's offered every fall semester, so not alternate years. It's offered every year, but alternate semesters, if that's what you want to say. So so now in this fall semester IC2 will be offered, and again in the next fall semester it will be offered. So in the 2 years time, you have 2 chances of taking IC2, but in your first semester, which is the fall semester, if it is the fall semester, then advanced thermodynamics is a prerequisite for IC2. And so till you complete advanced thermodynamics, you cannot take IC2. So it's like you'd have to first take advanced thermodynamics in a fall semester and then wait for IC2 for the next fall.
Okay, so the next question is from Diptesh. When do we look for professors to act as our thesis guide? Is emailing them before coming on campus any use? Does everyone actually usually get a thesis guide? If you do secure a guide, how do the thesis credits get distributed and in which semesters? Okay, so to answer your first question, so even if you are taking thesis or non-thesis, you need to complete at least 20 credits. Like thesis caters for maximum of 10 credits in most of the departments. So to complete 20 credits, it will take at least 2 semesters. So people who come in fall, what they normally do is they complete first semester and get a good grades and good course projects in that first semester, and approach professors using those course projects and ask them for thesis help. I mean, to guide their thesis. Next thing, it would be, I would strongly recommend to come here and directly have interaction with professor rather than emailing them, because in that way you can have a face one-on-one interaction and get your all doubts cleared. And most professors will be too busy to reply your mails, and it happens every time. So make sure, it would be highly recommended to come here and interact with them. So does everyone usually get a thesis guide? Comparatively, like here I find there are a lot of coursework students compared to thesis students, so most chance of getting a thesis guide would be, chances are good, but getting a funding is a question that which no one can answer here apart from the professor you choose. So yeah, to answer it, like there are chances that you get a guide. So thesis credits are distributed normally from your third semester, because the first 2 semesters would be covering your course credits mostly, and the third and fourth semesters will have your thesis credits. Talking about, okay, wait. Amol, hello. I'll be doing MS from GMES department. My query is in GMES department, maximum courses are of 5Q. Okay. Amol, we are sorry, we don't have anyone from GMES here. So what I would do is, like, I would ask, I would go ahead and try to contact some of the GMES people here. So once if I get a reply from them, then I'll update you. You can mail this same question to isacom@mtu.edu, so we can forward that to the respective person. Talking about the food, again, I guess third or fourth question from Nilesh. Talking about the food, can we carry rice, cereals, and wheat from India? Is it allowed in the flight? Yeah, it is allowed in the flight, but it is not allowed by customs. So you can't. Just kidding. But no, seriously don't carry rice and these things. Rice, if customs, it's not allowed to carry rice and some of the cereals, but you can carry all the lentils and that masala powders and spices stuff.
You can actually carry rice and cereals, but you cannot get it in your carry-in. You have to put it as your
No, in
baggage.
check-in also, if they caught you, like they will throw it out, and it's not recommended item.
Basically, it's,
But it's
available
not
at a very
required
reasonable
to-
price in
Yeah.
Walmart and stuff. So
Actually get
there's no
it.
point in getting it. Actually, you can get it over here.
Yeah, I mean, even when I came here, I was worried about what all things I should take, and I figured that I took with me a lot of things that I could have bought here easily, including winter wear. And so it's like here all the basic utilities are also cheap. It's not like they are very expensive. So please consider that while taking things.
Harshil Patel, which softwares are favorable there, which can be learned from here before I come there? Okay. Just try to, I mean, regardless of department, most departments use MATLAB. So we would say MATLAB, and try to brush on your math skills, because like most courses involve certain amount of math. So try to revise the books that you used in your undergrad. So that might be useful as well. Again, the question from Deeptesh. Is there transport available to Walmart and other stores? How far away the big grocery stores? So during fall and spring semesters, every day, I mean every weekday, that is from Monday to Friday, from afternoon 1 to 6:30 p.m. I guess, there is a shuttle running from the campus to the Walmart. So it's somewhere around 3 miles, 3 or 4 miles from the campus. So
About 6 miles away from DH.
yeah,
Almost
6
like
miles from
campus.
Daniel Heights. So you can use the shuttle and you get all the required things from Walmart. And next to Walmart there is a another store called JC Penney's, and where you get some clothes and all, and there is Rogers Cinemas as well. And around Walmart, like within half-mile coverage, you have most of the things like some restaurants and some other stores as well, like Econo Foods and things. Shopco, yeah. So yes, like you have a shuttle running from campus to the Walmart every weekday. So weekends there will not be anything, so you have to arrange your own travel. I mean, you have to make your own travel arrangements. Okay. So that's all. Are there any questions that we have to cover?
Yeah, there was one in the Hangouts
Okay.
session that,
Vaccination.
yeah, about the vaccination. So you can find the link for the recommended vaccinations, or if you search in MTU vaccinations, required vaccinations on Google, and all those are there is a list of all the recommended vaccinations that should be taken before you come to MTU.
Okay, so I have some questions that I got from mail. So the first query is like from Ayush Lal. Can I get into off-campus housing after coming to Hootan, or do I need to finalize before coming? It would be highly recommended to finalize everything before coming here, because after coming here, you might not get a chance, like you might not get a housing itself, because most of the contracts starts from the same school date. So it's highly recommended to get your housing done before coming here. So again, another question from Ayush Lal. I have registered for 2 courses and seats in my area of interest are full. I have already sent a waiver for interested subjects. The department has said they are working on additional seats. Do I have any chance of getting courses in my area of interest? So first of all, like you should have mentioned what is your area of interest. Then we would get a clear idea on what exactly you're asking about. And if department says they are working on additional seats, which means like you have to wait and wait till they come up with their increased seat requirement. And I guess since you will be on wait list, I'm pretty sure you'll be notified once they increase the seats, or they will automatically enroll you in the courses. There is one question from Apur Prem. Is getting a 4-wheeler advisable? It is advisable, but it depends on one's personal financial level. So if you have a good budget to get car, you can get it for somewhere around $5,000 to $6,000, a good one with snow tires, because snow tires are really mandatory here. Without that, you'll be doing all types of dances with the car.
That's one important thing is insurance. So if you buy a car, you have to take insurance, which is compulsory over here, and it is like really expensive. So you have to think about that as well. The fuel is kind of cheap, but like the main cost is like for the registration is the insurance.
Okay. Oh, 6 comments. Where we left off. Okay. Ayush Lal, I answered these questions. Abhishek Joshi, this is regarding the bus service which university has arranged on 70th. I mean, there are limited seats, or will it depend upon the number of students? There are each bus has 54 seats available, and as per the update that we got from IPS, like both the buses are 50% full already. So you have to go ahead and reserve as soon as possible. Okay, next, what type of work do we have on campus? On campus jobs by Aniket. So as we mentioned earlier in the presentation, so the most common jobs are like in dining at all the residential halls, as well as in MUP. So dining would be like serving the food, cleaning the dishes, you'll not be cooking, but you'll be serving the food as well as cleaning the dishes and cleaning the work area that you are in. And apart from that, there is jobs available in Rosa Center, which is an arts theater here, and also and also in the library. Okay, so next. Akshat Abhay Raut. Do you get Indian food items like vegetables or flour in Houghton? Generally, what do you guys cook? Okay. uh, do you get Indian food items? Yes, but very at a higher price compared to other cities. Like vegetables, vegetables are people do eat vegetables here, so you'll get most of the vegetables. Like, but you cannot expect every vegetable that we have back in India. So most common things are like onions, tomatoes, potatoes, some peppers, and cauliflower, cabbage, and some eggplant, sometimes eggplant, spinach, carrots. Flour, if you mean by flour, which is if it is all-purpose or maida flour, then yes, you'll get very cheap at very cheaper price compared to India. Wheat flour again, you do get wheat flour, but it is not as what you get in India because they have a refined version of that. So and what do you guys cook? It depends. Like sometimes our meal will be just a toasted bread and jam. Sometimes it would be a very big, huge meal. 5 course meal depends on time and the amount of assignment load we have.
Time is a very important.
Yeah, we do eat milk and cereals for lunch and dinner. So don't get surprised that if you come and don't find time, just go ahead and eat whatever you have. So and make sure don't starve yourself because it is really important to have full appetite in this climate, else you'll be thrown out of the winter. Okay, Ayush, he said his interest is automotive. So anyone automotive?
Yeah, so for automotive in US, Michigan is the place to be. So Michigan Tech is a very good option, and Michigan Tech has very good automotive-oriented courses, and not just that, they are one of the topmost schools in engines. So it is a good option to come to Michigan Tech for automotive, not just from research and coursework point of view, but also from jobs, because at the career fairs, majority of the companies that come over here are, automotive oriented. They are automotive companies or suppliers of the same. So it's a, like, if you are inclined to automotive, then you are taking the right decision.
And NTU has their enterprise programs like HEV Enterprise, Formula SA Enterprise, and SA Baja Enterprise. So you will get hands-on experience on those projects, and these projects are funded by automotive giants like Ford, GM, etc. Yeah, it's a good exposure.
Okay. There is another question by Deeptesh. What are the money transfer options available? Like if you are transferring to your personal bank account, then you can use what is that facility? Wire transfer. So wire transfer is like nothing. You will give your bank details, bank account number, routing number, and SWIFT codes to the particular bank that you are transferring from India, and they will transfer all the things. Those bank person from India will transfer the amount. So it is pretty straightforward. You don't need to worry much on that part. Nilesh,
So I guess
yeah.
basically they levy some small fee. It's like the
Yeah, there are
the
fees.
cheapest option basically to transfer money is to get a forex card, and then maybe your parents can put some money in the forex the account, and then maybe you can withdraw that amount over here and then deposit it in your bank, which will also have some small fee, but I think it is slightly cheaper than an actual wire transfer.
Okay. Nilesh Gupta, how is placement scenario for mechanical? Maybe again, you guys can answer the question.
Yeah, placement scenario is good, and it's like relevant previous experience does help, but it's not like work experience is the only criterion. What I found after coming here at Michigan Tech is that more emphasis is put on what projects you do over here. So, and there are many opportunities. If you do some good projects under professors apart from your coursework, then that is a plus for placements. And during career fairs, the only problem is that very few companies directly sponsor the F1 visa. So if I mean, still there are a few like Cummins and Kohler that do sponsor F1 visa, and they take sponsor H1B. I'm sorry. So so it's that is one sort of obstacle, but full time is guaranteed at Michigan Tech. I mean, I have not seen a single senior who has not received a placement. So the last thing that they do is go to Detroit, and there they surely get a job.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to next question from Priyanka. Is the university settle free of cost? Yes, it is free of cost because our tuition covers all the expenses related to transportation, so no need to worry on that. Deeptesh, if we don't get a place in bus or we arrive on a different date, what are the options for traveling to Houghton from Chicago? So if you are planning to travel on a different date, then I would say they try to see like there is a Indian Trails bus from Chicago to Houghton, but it is like 15 hours journey. But make sure first, I would recommend you to try to get a place on bus at the earliest. And if you don't get mail IPS and ask their recommendations for other options, because they are the ones who could really guide you, or they could try you to put, I mean, if there are like more than some 15 or 20 people who don't get a bus on a particular date, or because of the seats are full, then they can make some arrangements putting an extra bus. So but you have to make sure that you get your place on the bus first. If not, then mail IPS. Okay. Should we get an international credit card or should we open a local account? If local, what is the best way to transfer money from India? Akshay Abhay Raut. So as answered, we earlier answered, like it is not really mandatory to get a credit card, but try to get a forex card, and that would be a really good way to do transfer from India to here. Like you can swipe your forex card at the bank and get your money transferred. So Ayush Lal, if you just skip this video a few minutes prior, like Pranav has mentioned the job scenario, like it is, I guess, like if you're asking specifically about automotive field, I would say like the scenario stands same for any field in mechanical. So and there are job fairs that are held on campus. There is one in fall and one in spring semesters. These are very huge career fairs, and you will have a really good opportunity to interact with all the students here, sorry, all the employers, and all the recruiters. And you'll also, there are some people who got interview calls during these career fairs for interns and full time. So it is a really good place to interact. Moving on to next question from Aniket. I would like to ask, would we, okay, it's about intern or co-op. When should we start looking for co-op? It would be, I would say, like in the mid of fall semester, like once you get repo with your coursework and once you know what you are going to do in your course project. So once you have that track set, then I would say, not me, like I guess regardless of specialization, that would be a sweet spot to start applying for co-ops. And there is nothing called internship. So just to make sure, like international students at Michigan Tech will get a co-op, which means that your working as a co-op will get a credit. You'll get a credit for that, and you have to pay a fee for that. So just make sure. I mean, just to clear out, there is nothing called internship here. Another question from Priyanka. How about job scenario for computer engineering? I heard that there are few chances for computer science and computer engineering F1 grad students. Okay. In US, if you are saying few chances for computer science and computer engineering, I would really say that it's not valid. But since no one are from computer science, but I have little idea on computer engineering because it comes under Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. So I saw people getting jobs in computer engineering, mostly related to automotive field, like designing uh, designing hardware and software related to automotives, controls and stuff. So there are good chances. But if you want an in-depth scenario, just mail us at isacom@mtu.edu. So we'll try to find some students and get information and reply you back. Yes.
I think we should clarify a bit on the internship co-op.
Yeah.
So
One second. Okay. You can go ahead.
Yeah. So what I think is that many people were asking what the difference is. So there is no difference as such for you or the company. It's just about the university that they require us to pay a fee of 1 credit to them for the semester. So that is the only difference between an internship and a co-op. And so Michigan Tech does not allow internships. So when you go for a co-op to a company, you just have to pay for that 1 credit to the university, and then you can go for the co-op. So that's the only difference. Hope that clarifies.
So going on to next question from Akshat Abhairaut. A senior told me that the coursework in mechanical department is comparatively tougher than other universities. I know this is a vague question, but is there any truth? Okay, here we are from mechanical and electrical. I myself from electrical, so and I am a transfer student from other universities. So in one way, I would say that it is really it is quite tough compared to other universities because they put a lot of emphasis on course qualities and the course project quality, and they have a strict eye on plagiarism and academic integrity, cheating and these stuff, which puts lots of pressure on students to, and of course at the end of the day you'll come up with something innovative and really useful thing. So to answer your question, I guess that would be a bit different compared to other universities. Maybe mechanical guys can support as well.
Yeah,
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, in similar terms, get ready to get screwed.
it's not hard that you can cope up with. You
Yeah.
just need to study.
Yeah, you'll be spending most of times in library.
Most nights. Yeah.
Most nights, yeah.
Lot of coffee.
Yeah, more, yeah.
But you will like it anyway.
Yeah, it's enjoyable for sure. It's something that my personal experience was that when I was in my undergraduate college, I didn't learn much in the 4 years as compared to what I learned in my 1 year over here. So it's really good and relevant to what you want to do in your career. So
The perception of learning changes after coming there.
So moving on to next question from Harshal Patel. I need to buy a new laptop. I need to buy a laptop. So what do you guys prefer on price and specification? Basics, whether buying from here or there. So I would say buy it in US because it is relatively very cheaper. Specification wise, try to get a good like latest good specification laptop like with i7 and 8 GB RAM and at least some. I mean, these are the minimum specifications that you should have, because if you are interacting with a lot of simulations and softwares, then it is really good to have a laptop. And additional to that, you have there are huge number of systems available in campus workstations, so which are very good systems. So you can if you can work in a group, like sitting in a group and working is fine with you, then you can use the campus systems as well.
That being said, like if you don't get like say like free laptop bags to the laptop and stuff, so you know,
Yeah, so you have to
yeah, I mean just plan accordingly.
yeah. So laptop means only laptop bag. So in India, I remember that they provide us
Yeah,
a laptop bag and some
nice
sops with that. So you don't get anything here like that. You have to buy those extra things. Maybe if you are planning to buy a laptop here, get a bag from India, which would be relatively cheaper. Another question from Siddharth Nair. The companies, the companies that come for placements, do they come from different parts of United States? Are there students that placed in other warmer states?
That's
Yeah.
Pranav.
See, this person back here, he's going to the warmest state. We hope he gets fried like a
like sausage.
sausage.
yeah, I just got a co-op in California, so it's not like you don't get from other states, but usually for the career fair, what happens is that the people from Michigan, like the companies are mostly from Michigan. because that's the nexus that they have formed with like all the alumni come for the career fair. So it's the more like if you are so what I mean, location is so preferred for you, then you should start using LinkedIn and connect with recruiters who are in the warmer states, and then you can like get chances over there. But mostly placements are there in this area like Chicago or Detroit.
And as a mechanical engineering student, you will end up in mostly in
Michigan.
Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit is
Yeah.
the one-stop solution for you.
Okay. The next question is from Abhishek Joshi. What book should we get for power systems from India, since books in US are costly? So the basic book that you immediately need is Power System Analysis by Gregor and Stevenson, so that you can get it in from India. And remaining all other courses, normally professors have course material from different books, so they don't prefer one particular book. So it's mostly like they cover 5 to 6 books and get us the course materials. So coming to fall semester, you need Power System Analysis by William Gregor and Stevenson. So try to get that book. Yes.
Yeah, and just like in general about books, so there are two options. Like when the course starts, the professor tells you that which book they are following, and you should get that book. So books here in the US are very costly, like $100 per book minimum. So it's very costly. There are two options you can opt. Like one is that taking an ebook and telling someone in India to mail it to you. Otherwise, there is another option that you can buy the book in India and ask them to courier it. Like you must be getting some like 3 monthly courier or something in India of food, and you can just tell them to add the books in that. So
yes,
So the library system is really good. So you may
like you can borrow most of the books from the library. I think all the books, like they have their interlibrary loan, so it's all linked to Michigan State and University of Michigan Ann Arbor, and you will get the book eventually, and you have it for like more than 2 months, so it's enough. So yeah, there are many options.
And from MTU campus bookstore website, you will get to know which book is being used by the professor. So you can get to know about the textbook so that you can order it from India. Or else, if you are thinking of buying after coming here, then there is a website called abebooks.com where you can get cheap books. I mean, books in cheaper rate.
Okay, moving on to next question. Another question by Sri Ramachari. How good are the placements for power engineers? Which is the area of research is power which would maximize the placement chance? Okay, the first question. For full times, like the power engineers, I saw like almost all of our current batch students got full-time jobs, so there is no hesitation in that. But internships, like there are pretty few, because most power projects involve student to be involved at least for like say 8 to 9 months to complete the project. So internships are not that much, but the chances are improving now, because this year I see like almost 60% of the class got internships. And coming to the second question, which is the area of research in power systems or energy which would maximize my placement chance? Okay, as I mentioned earlier many times in group chats and everywhere, your research doesn't guarantee your job in that particular area. Research thesis is your choice, not the particular company's choice. So whatever you do in research is your interest, and you might not get the same field, or you might end up in different field. So these are not two linked things to look at it. So just rethink if you are planning for research. So to answer in short, so research and getting placed in your research interest is highly unlikely to happen. How do I get a driving license? Saurabh Chaudhary. Yeah, we are really waiting like someone who. This is one of the important thing, like driving license. Okay, So since you have 2 months in India, get a driving license in India first, because it would make things really easy here. Michigan allows Indian driving license for 1 year. So what you can do is, once you get Indian driving license, you can go ahead and rent vehicles here and get a zip card and roam around. But to get a driving license here, the process goes like this. First, you have to go and write a temporary license permit test. So that would be an 40 question based test, which you have to pass with 90%, I guess. And once you are done with that, you will get a permit, and you'll get at least 1 month time for your training period. So after 1 month, no, if they don't have Indian license. Yeah, if they don't have Indian license, you have to have at least 1 month gap between your temporary license permit and driving test. If you have an Indian license, you can give it the driving test on the next day. So driving test is mainly to assess your driving skills and parking skills. So that is conducted somewhere around for 25 marks, and you have to get around about 20.
Actually, there are 100 marks basically,
Mhm.
in which so the first 15 minutes will basically assess your parking skills. Basically, will have to parallel park car. You'll have to on that stuff, and after that we'll basically have to roam around in Hotel and Hancock for about 30 minutes with the instructor, where she'll tell you just stuff change lanes, take a left, take a right, and stuff basically for about half an hour. And at the end of the test, you basically get a result, and she'll tell you if you have passed or failed. I think you have to score a minimum of 75 out of 100 to clear your exam, and you have to score at least 3 out of 6 in the parking skills to get a license, in your practical test.
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
that
so
answers.
it's a
Yep.
very it's a serious test, so it's not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very serious test. If you miss one stop sign, that your test is done.
And the main problem here is that it's a left-hand drive, so you in time you get
Get used to
accustomed to it, and
It actually doesn't take a lot of
long
time to
time,
actually get. I mean,
used to it. But if you have an Indian driving license, as Jaya mentioned, then it is a very good plus. You get practice using zip cars and all other car rentals. So once you till the time you give the driving test, you are already prepared. So
Okay. Yeah.
just be prepared to take a test in the snow.
Yeah.
It's not a very difficult, but
and all cars in US have automatic transmission,
Oh, yes.
like most of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean
most. I mean,
almost,
all of them. I mean, I haven't seen a
90%.
manual over here.
So don't worry about changing gears.
Yeah. Okay, I have another question on mail, from Siddharth Rajesh Wadhwan. I wanted to know more of the off-campus housing, specifically in terms of area of location to look out. Also, if you could mention amenities and utilities that should be looked for. I am on waiting list 38 for 1 bedroom DH. What are my chances? Okay, to answer your last question, we can't really say what are your chances, because we are not the persons who deal with these things. You should Ryan Bennett from housing would be the proper person to contact on what are about your chances. And to look about the off campus, we already provided some links in the presentation. It's also available on the YouTube link, on the description of the YouTube link. So you can see a Google Drive link in that, where you have the presentation, and in that there are links for off-campus accommodation places, like where you can go and search the accommodation. So make sure to search a place which is at least not more than 1 mile from the campus, because it would help you a lot in terms of walking in snow. And coming to the amenities and utilities, make sure they cover at least water, gas, heating, because most off campus don't cover electricity, but make sure they cover all other amenities apart from electricity, like water, gas, heating, and if they provide internet, that would be really good option as well. Anything?
Just to mention that one of the popular off-campus options is Julian Properties.
Yeah, Julian Properties. So
100 meters.
yeah,
It's 100 meters from.
so we also provided the Julian Properties link in the website, in the presentation, so you can go ahead and check that as well. Moving on to next. Okay. Priyanka Ramaswamy, are some specific vaccinations that we need to take before coming to university? Does MTU ask for such confirmations?
I don't think you've got like unlike most universities, Michigan
They don't ask.
They don't have like a set of vaccines which you have to take. So like you have a recommended list of vaccinations which you may choose to take, but it's not compulsory. I did not take any vaccinations and I'm still here.
But
So.
it's better to take.
Yeah, but
vaccination.
it's always better to take vaccine. Yep.
So, and I have replied your comment with a link to University Health website. So there they have mentioned what are the vaccinations that are recommended, not mandatory. So you can go ahead and check that. Do the rental car companies ask for an international driver's permit? No, they don't.
I got an international driver's permit and it's of no use here.
Yeah.
It's staying in my pocket since the past 1 year, but I haven't had to remove it at all for anything. So just the Indian driving license is enough.
Okay. And moving on to next question. Do we have Wi-Fi on campus? Yeah, we do. If you can see us, then we do have Wi-Fi.
Good
Yeah.
quality, good speed.
Good quality, good speed. That's why we prefer to stay on campus for longer time.
Wi-Fi everywhere.
Yeah, Wi-Fi everywhere. Apart from AT&T, what carriers are available like H2 or anything else? Also, Moto G2 work. Abhishek Joshi, H2 is available here. So you can use that. It also supports AT&T towers, as Pranav mentioned earlier. Moto G2 works. I'm not sure. You have to see the specific bandwidth.
I think it does, but I mean
just you have to
make
Google
sure,
it.
I mean, yeah.
You have to Google it, man. That part, because we cannot maintain that record here.
What do you find?
Yeah, it's
Googling.
yeah. You can easily find it in Google. Okay. So that's all. We have anything to add? Maybe you guys can pop up the questions. I guess we have still 30 minutes time, and if you don't have anything, then we'll just sign out and say bye. Thank you for this.
Mention that this video.
Yes.
I guess like while they're waiting for questions, they can probably compare something about the plans, AT&T plans, to the rough cost.
Rough cost of AT&T would be somewhere around $60.
Yep, exactly. So that's like
Yeah, but you get an iPhone. You get an iPhone.
Yeah.
So that is one good thing with that.
H2
H2 is like $20 or $30 maximum. You have to have your own mobile device for that. So we covered housing. We covered.
Yeah, maybe you can speak about funding courses.
Oh, okay. Okay, funding. It's a really tricky thing. To be very straightforward, if you want funding, then you should have really good interest in research and should able to spend your time in research and provide some. You have to mainly show your research interest to the professor so that he gets impressed and he funds you. So most chance of getting funding is mainly for PhD students because they have a longer commitment. They stay for 4 to 5 years. So which means that they can work on a project and complete it and get it done. Whereas master students will stay only for 2 years. So which will be like kind of like come and go stuff. So professors normally recommend and prefer PhD students for all sorts of funding. And don't do this thing like if I want funding, so I will do PhD. That will be suicidal thing. Because your PhD or any research should be driven by your interest and motivation towards a particular specialization, not because of funding. So just keep that in mind. If you don't have any research interest, never think of funding. there are very less chances of getting funding if you don't have any research interests. And above all, professor should have funding with him, and those chances also like very bleak, very slim. And mostly like if people get funded at one time, which assures that they get funded till their end of the degree, either it's PhD or master's. So it all depends on how interested you are and how capable and how good you prove to the professor that you are valuable for his research. Okay, 5 more. Is SSN required for bank account, driving license, etc.? If we can secure. Okay, SSN is not required for opening bank account or driving license. SSN will be, you'll be getting SSN using what you say that any on-campus job. So once you get an on-campus job, immediately you'll get SSN, because without SSN, university cannot pay you. So that is one thing. And driving license asks for SSN, but if you don't have SSN, you can take a letter from international program stating that this student is not employed. So that is a waiver kind of thing, which would act as a not which would cover the SSN requirement.
And I think for credit cards, we need
Yeah, for credit cards you need SSN, but yeah, that is like later part. Pratik, other than power systems, is there any top specialization offered by ECE? So controls, HEV and controls also comes under ECE, as well as embedded and controls also comes under ECE. These are also very good specializations. The only thing is, like, if you take embedded and all, there are not much courses, but if you combine with controls, it is a very good specialization. Similarly goes with HEV. Like HEV has their own coursework, but they also combine with some of the control courses, so to make it a full specialization. Another question from Siddharth: what kind of winter wear is recommended in cold weather? What is essentially carried from India for initial months? Nothing, as I say. Come and buy here. Whatever you buy in India doesn't suit at all. Within first 2 days they will be out of water. So better don't get anything. Maybe you can get
just one
We would say get some initial things, maybe like pullover or something like that.
some
But
sweater
do
or
not invest too much of money while coming here, because I did the same mistake. I purchased 3 snow jackets and other things and all. When I got it here, nothing worked, because the temperatures are very low, and the ones which we get back in India, they are manufactured considering the cold conditions in India. So, but here sometimes it goes to an extreme. Last winter it was minus 25, minus 30 on one day.
Yeah.
Minus 30 degrees Celsius. So most of them which you get might not work. So do not invest much there. So it's always preferred to come here and buy ones.
okay. That says that 60. Does 220 by 110 voltage difference cause any problem to electrical appliances? For example, you asked for bring me.
Yeah, mixer grinder.
Mixer grinder, you should get a 110 volt.
That is one major disadvantage of
Yeah.
mixer grinder.
But these are available in India. Like you can get a 110 volt mixer grinder. I did saw like mixers from Preeti and Prestige with 110 volt specification, because people do carry mixer grinders from India. If you are thinking that you will be the first person carrying it, no, they did carry here. So get a 110 volt laptop. Majorly, if you see your laptop charger and anything, it is functioned. It could be working for 220 by 110. So you don't need to bother on that. You can also check all your electrical appliances whether those are compatible for 220 by 110. Mostly your trimmers and
usually aren't.
Adapters.
Yeah.
You get adapters, so you can actually use them.
Sri Ramachari, another question. I'm not particularly interested in one particular area. I'm kind of flexible. So is going for PhD recommended in this case? I cannot really recommend one particular person to go to PhD or not. And if anyone who wants to go to PhD, he should have a clear cut definition on what is his research interest and what is his motivation towards it. Being flexible from my personal end, being flexible doesn't work with PhD at all. So you should be very sure on I want to do on particular area. Like let us say, since I am a power system person, I would say I would like to work in smart grid protection or something, a transformer protection or something related to power system transients. So we should have a clear idea on what we want to do. So if you once you come here and if you get that idea within a year or so, then you can decide on pursuing PhD. But without that idea, going for PhD would be a suicidal thing because you'll waste at least 2 to 3 years to get a research idea itself. Okay. Any more things that we left out? Off campus done. So if you are thinking like you'll get bored around Houghton, no, you are not, because most of the time you'll spend in library, that is for sure. And apart from that, you have a couple of hangout places. There are one pub and some very good family-owned diner places, apart from chain restaurants here. And there are, yeah, no, one pub, one club which allows people to dance and drink. There are 2 more places where you can sit and drink and enjoy this.
One excellent brewery over here.
Yeah, actually there are 5 breweries here. So there are couple in Houghton, couple in Hancock, one in Calumet. So there are breweries. So if you enjoy drinking beer, so there are very good options at a very cheap price compared to cities. And campus is like mostly, even though if it's in winter, the campus will be very vibrating in winter as well. Like you'll see people roaming here and there. There are some events happening during weekends. Yeah, winter sport, winter carnival. So don't worry on that. And from ISA, from ISA, and like once you come here and become an ISA member, you have lots of things happening. Starting from your arrival on campus with the orientation and week-long training sessions and interactions in terms of potluck events and Diwali night, Garba night. And we make sure to keep our Indian community lively as possible and make sure to keep them as safe as possible. So that is our main goals. And of course, we all came here for academics, so make sure that we put more time on that compared to time on searching off campus or for part-time jobs. Because I really, personally, I saw many people spend time on off-campus jobs. So don't try to schedule such that you don't need to skip any classes to do job or vice versa. Priyanka Ramswamy has another question. I am planning on buying a new phone here. Is it advisable to get it here or after come to US? So it is basically, phone prices are almost same. Unlike laptop prices, phone prices might look cheaper because they come on a contract for 2 years. So that's why it looks cheaper. But to get on a contract, you have to have a family plan, which means like you should have a relative in the family and they should add you, or you should have a SSN and you should have a good credit history to get a plan.
Actually,
no, for contract phones.
Mine was a contract phone, so I did not. So actually, so like I got my phone after I came over here and I did not have an SSN. So the AT&T has got this thing where you can actually get a phone on even on contract, even when you don't have an SSN. So that's,
yeah. But what do you pay monthly?
$60 per month, like as my bill, and I paid $200 for the phone. For the phone. So
so that's how
that's that.
But I maybe I would say to just if you are already using a smartphone, then just check whether it will work on US. Then just bring that and just use it as it is. That's all.
And like if you plan to buy a new phone, so like in India you usually get the Indian version, or the international version. It may not have the same features like as the phone, which is for example, like I had like an S3, like an
Yeah.
exam, which was nowhere even close to the essay that they had over here when I came over here. So I mean,
Yeah,
prefer
but
US.
like maybe you can use that phone here for
Yeah.
a semester or
Yep.
an year, then you can get a new phone.
Totally, totally.
Yeah, anyway, if you want to buy Apple iPhone every year, they release one to just frustrate the Apple users. Okay. Anyways, the another question from Pratik. I think there is a limit to carry liquid money on flight during initial days. How much money we might be required, till we get a bank account? Maybe have somewhere around some 500, 700 to $1,000 maximum, not more than that. Maximum $1,000, and you can carry $1,000 on flight. There is no problem with that. You can carry
I
10,000
think, yes, the max is $10,000. You don't have to.
liquid cash.
Yep.
That's
But you don't need that.
yeah. You don't need that much.
Besides, you'll probably get a bank account like 2-3 days after you come over here
Yes.
anyway. So.
Yeah, and one point is that just don't take from the bank like $100 notes.
Try to get change.
Yeah.
So the change is very important, and people will snub you if you don't have.
Yeah. So we also have a plan from Indian Students Association to help you all guys with opening bank accounts and all. So this is another advantage being part of our community like Indian Students Association. Once we'll make arrangements for the bank account. We are still in the talks, but we have a plan to keep these things as smooth as possible, so that you guys no need to rush to the banks and bombard them at a time. A question there.
Yeah, it's regarding the books.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, this is done, right? We told that already. We covered that already.
Oh.
Okay, Siddharth. Another question: do we have good restaurants and fast food joints in the campus? What about Indian food? Okay, to answer the first question, there are no outside restaurants in the campus. Its own cafeteria, and so food is available there. It's okay kind of food. Most people do get their lunch boxes, so you don't even think like people whether they get lunch box or not. Most of them gets lunch boxes. Very few people eat at cafeterias unless they don't have time. And Indian food, no, strict no. You have to prepare your own Indian food. So the another opportunity to taste Indian food is attending all Indian events.
Looking at
The nearest Indian restaurant is in Appleton,
Which is 250 miles
250 miles away from here.
Yeah, they're planning to start an Indian store and an interview
Yeah.
Where?
in hotel, but it's not like
Okay.
no confirmation.
Okay, Akshat Abhirat, is this I know this is an unusual question. Okay, but is chicken meat available in your hotel? Is it mainly beef? Yes, chicken is available. Yeah.
in fact,
Chicken, lamb, almost
Anything
all
which
seafood.
moves
Yeah,
Everything.
is available.
yeah,
Chicken, beef.
yeah, it is.
it is available.
At like reasonable prices in Walmart, so that's fine.
Yeah, you have most of seafood options as well here. Like, going on. Okay, I think that's the last one. Anything else there?
It's regarding the IC2 course.
Okay.
Yeah, he joined in a bit late. So
Yeah.
I told him that we are posted.
Okay, this is really sensitive. It's from Apur Prem. Your views regarding racism in Michigan Tech. Indian Students Association and Michigan Tech or any student body is particularly we are very opposite towards racism and any caste, race or anything. So we don't support anything on that base. And here you don't find anything. I didn't face anything on that front whatsoever.
like in fact this region is like
Very
you've got like super sweet people over here in this area, like the beaches
Yeah.
of Michigan, Ohio, and
And the campus is pretty much safe.
Yeah,
it's one of the
it's-
safest campuses
Yeah,
in the US.
it is like the safest campus
Safest
in
campus
Michigan.
in
Yeah.
US actually.
It's
Yeah.
the third safest in the US.
the whole country.
You can like walk home at 5 a.m.
5
in the
a.m.,
morning without
2 a.m.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
I have forgotten the last time I locked my doors.
I never locked my doors in Daniel Heights, so you can imagine how safe it is.
It's a very safe place.
And like again, the local Americans here are very friendly.
Very friendly. Yes.
the first time I went to Walmart, this complete stranger offered to like give me a ride home with all my bags. I did not even know him, and he like dropped me home when it was. I mean, like people are really helpful and super sweet, and you won't have any discrimination issues.
Okay. So there are a couple more questions on. Hi, for HEV plus controls, how do we plan the courses for all 2015 if the seats are full? I am tensed and I'm not getting entered course. I read it's important to get course under professors working in these fields for right. HEV.
For HCV, I would say you have to take courses such as Intro to HCV, Intro to HCV Lab, and Dynamic Systems and Controls. So, as you are asking about controls, also, I would prefer a DSC. I mean, Dynamic Systems and Controls.
DSC would be one of the first things which you should be taking up, because that will give you the foundation for all the other control related subjects. Okay.
So, coming to the filling of seats, the Intro to HCV is a 4,000 level course. That means an undergrad course. So, you have to wait till all the undergrads register for the courses, and if any seats are left, then we'll get to register for that courses. So in order to take advanced HCV, I mean advanced course of hybrid electric vehicles, we need to take Intro to HCV. And for fall semester, Intro to HCV and Intro to HCV Lab is offered, and DSC is also offered. So it is pretty much good combination.
Okay. So I have some questions on mail from Sandesh Suresh Gandhi. What are the veg meal plans available on and around campus? There are no specific veg meal plans kind of thing, but you get vegetarian food in campus cafeteria or in most of the restaurants around here. Like you have some veg options available, but very minimal. Don't expect a huge vegetarian menu, but there are some particular veg options available at every place. So, and which grocery items we get in stores around. So most kind of vegetables and rice and flour you get here, and some Indian spices are available in nearby food mart called gyms. So at a higher price, but you'll get most of the Indian stuff as well, but you have to put some more extra dollars in that. Preferred and cheapest way of transferring money from India to US, we believe it is Forex cards, but maybe you have to research a bit more on that and compare the prices, because we really don't have info on. Complete info on.
Like Wells Fargo bank account. When my parents transfer through international wire transfer, they get deducted $14 in India from that Indian bank, and then they get deducted $14 over here.
For wire transfer?
For Wells Fargo. So
for wire transfer. Oh.
Okay.
So that is a kind of fee that is.
So it probably depends on your bank. It probably depends on your forex card.
Yeah.
And that is a fixed fee for any amount.
So you have to just research that yourself. Like try to see what which bank offers or which forex card offers low transaction fees and all. And if you could update us the same thing, it would be really helpful. We'll pass on the information to all the Indian students who are coming here. And his last question is, how do we exactly pay our fees? Need this to decide about bank loan disbursement. So for paying the fees, try contacting register@mtu.edu. They will provide you directions to do using wire transfer as well as peer transfer. So you have to mail them. It's register@mtu.edu. So once you mail them, they will provide you the instructions on how to transfer. And when you give the instructions to bank persons, they will be pretty much clear on what to do. So we are coming to last 10 minutes of our session. So make sure if you have any more questions, just put it now so that. Okay, there is another question from Pratik. Is there any difference in kitchen appliances offered in 1 BHK and 2 BHK? Observe that there is that an oven is not provided in 1 BHK. Sorry if that question is already answered. There are no appliances like kind of thing. You have a stove which has an oven. So one thing to clear off, oven is different from microwave. Okay, you have to buy microwave. Microwave no one gives us microwave. We bought our microwave here. Oven is kind of a conventional heating oven which is available with the stove regardless of what is the apartment size.
You have heating coils. Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, instead of flame, you have a
yeah, heating ones. Okay. Any questions there to answer?
Regarding the housing, like one of the person has a 65 on the waiting list for 1 BHK, is asking can he get one?
Again, we are sorry, but we really can't help you on waiting list numbers because we don't manage those lists. You have to mail Ryan Bennett and housing@mtu.edu. They are the persons who deal with this list. But to see by seeing the number, I would say we would say that it would be less likely to get a chance.
actually,
But yeah,
One thing, actually, for my personal point of view, I mean, I applied on June 15th or so. Even though I applied on June 15th, I got a 1 BHK apartment. So we can't really say that you can't get or you
Yeah.
can get. But the thing is that you have to apply and just keep in contact with Ryan Bennett so that you'll get more good.
same.
okay.
It's a question regarding the off-campus accommodation.
Okay.
Relation to that.
So
No, the temporary accommodation. Temporary accommodation. Yeah.
so can you just answer the HEV part? HEV courses part.
Okay. HCV courses are Intro to HCV, Intro to HCV Lab, Advanced HCV, and Advanced HCV Lab. These are the 4 courses which are primarily considered HCV. So, in order to take Advanced HCV and Advanced HCV Lab, you have to take Intro to HCV and Intro to HCV Lab. And from my personal experience, I would say that you have to take Intro to HCV theory class because it's a fantastic class. It is taught by one of the good professors here. And the thing is that you will get to know the basics about everything about HEV. I mean, engines, batteries, electric motors, everything. So coming to HEV, so you have to take this Intro to HEV, Intro to HEV Lab in the fall semester. Intro to HEV Lab is not compulsory, but if in the lab you will get hands-on experience on engines and motors. And coming to controls, you have to take DSC, Dynamic Systems and Controls. This is a basic course, and in the spring semester, they are also offering a distributed and embedded control systems, which is an advanced course in controls. Then there is also a HCV Enterprise program by MTU. in which you can get hands-on experience on the real-world project in HCD. So these are the courses in HCD, hybrid electrical vehicles.
Okay. So that is to answer your question, Vishal. There is another question from Sandesh Suresh Gandhi. Which banks are there in Houghton and around? Since I have heard Citibank allows free conversion of currency between accounts owned by same user. So no, there is no Citibank here. The only major bank that is available here is Wells Fargo. So most of the transactions are done using Wells Fargo. So that's all. So maybe you have to make sure you have to check what are the rates that you get when you transfer money from India to Wells Fargo bank account. Okay, so what is it?
Is there accommodation? Like, what's the relation for the temporary accommodation?
So the temperature, we normally don't recommend on any temporary accommodation because you'll be having a huge amount of travel when you arrive here, and you don't want to end up sleeping on other person's couch or other person's floor. But in cases we could offer maximum of 2 days, but that is up to the apartment owner's decision. If he doesn't want to let anyone to stay, but we cannot help on that way. But what we strongly recommend is make sure you decide on your accommodation prior arriving here, so that you don't end up sleeping on others' floors and being a guest to others. So make sure on that plan and make sure and plan accordingly. Okay. Okay, I guess we are at the end of our session. So I hope we answered all your questions. And to just recap, we tried to give maximum maximum amount of details, whatever we have with us to help you all. And to people who have registered today, you will be getting this presentation as a PDF file in your mail. So do check mtu.edu mail IDs. And apart from that, make sure to mail us if you have any questions or concerns to isa.com@mtu.edu. And we hope we all meet you here, and we hope that you'll be part of ISA family and get the membership and get benefits out of this. And thanks all for attending this. Anything to add?
No?
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stop.